What's good, y'all? Back again today with a very special video. So today I want to do a reaction video to an interview I saw recently. So if you don't know who you're looking at right now, these two women are part of a rap group by the name of City Girls. The one on the right with the blonde hair, her name is JT, and the one on the left goes by Young Miami. Now, I've seen these girls a few times before, and I even made a few posts on my Instagram about the girl JT and one lyric in particular. As a matter of fact, before we even move forward, let me show you the lyric that introduced me to the City Girls.
My nigga acting crazy. I'm about to get rid of his baby. His mama acting shady. My nigga acting crazy. I'm about to get rid of his baby. His mama acting shady.
I'm about to get rid of his baby.
I'm about to get rid of his baby.
I'm about to get rid of his baby.
So you see, if first impressions are everything, we really weren't off to a good start, but I digress. I'm not judging these women. Well, let me stop lying. I'm judging them, but it's not from a place of being better than them. It's just from a place of wanting them to do better. And we're going to get into that. But as you saw, that woman literally makes songs where she brags about going to get an abortion and killing her baby because she's not getting along with the child's father. This is the lyrics that are in these women's music. Just remember that. So without further ado, let's get into this video.
How do you respond to people who criticize female rappers who talk about sex and taking advantage of men in that way?
I say shut the fuck up, period. Like, just shut up. Like, I just be feeling like they want attention. It's like, shut up. Like, Indy just said, they've been talking about this for years, for decades. So, like, why is the problem now?
All right. Right off the bat, we see a glaring hypocrisy coming from women, black women in particular, who now say that women bragging about taking advantage of men should just shut the fuck up about that. And when she said that, in particular, I thought about no other than the queen of hip hop, Cardi B. And if you haven't seen the footage of what made Cardi B famous to me, let's watch that as well.
Cause I did it myself. Niggas must have forgot, my nigga, the shit that I did to motherfucking survive. Like, I had to go straight. I had to go, oh yeah, you wanna fuck me? Yeah, let's go to this hotel. And I drug niggas up and I robbed them. That's what I used to do. And I drug niggas up and I robbed them. That's what I used to do.
And I drug niggas up and I robbed them. That's what I used to do.
Nothing was motherfucking happening to me, my nigga. Nothing. I'm be like, alright, I'm gonna take him out. We're gonna get drunk. I'm gonna get him all perked up and everything. We're gonna have a good time. Get him super twisted. Then bring a bitch around. We're gonna have a threesome. And when he wake up, he gonna be like, what the fuck? Yeah, because the bitch was a tranny. I'm be like, yup, we had a threesome with a tranny. Yup, a tranny suck your dick. You don't gotta fuck another nigga to get even, bitch. There's other ways.
So you see, I'm setting the scene here. And forgive the echo in the background. I'm not in the best recording conditions, but you get the point. I'm setting the scene here and I'm setting the context here for us to understand how hypocritical it is and just downright disgusting, to be honest, for black women in 2020 to be behaving in this manner. We're going to get into it. And before I get any further, of course, I have to let my disclaimer be known that when I mention black women, quote unquote, I am not speaking about the upstanding, righteous, virtuous, intellectual, hardworking, independent, respectful black women with dignity. I am not talking about you. So in this particular clip, Charlemagne the God, quote unquote, of the Breakfast Club fame is interviewing them and asks them, well, what do you think about men that, don't like your lyrics where you're talking about objectifying them and using them and stealing from them? She says the men need to just shut the fuck up.
I say shut the fuck up, period. Like, just shut up. Like, I just be feeling like they want attention. It's like, shut up.
This is where, like I said, me personally, I just had to watch this whole interview because I knew it would be full of shit. And yes, it was full of shit. And yes, it was painful to sit through. But before I go any further, I also want to say these girls have charisma. I'll give them that. And I don't think they're bad people. So I'm not saying that this video is trying to shame them or tell them that they need to change completely. I actually think they have a lot of charisma, very beautiful black women. I wish they would take that European hair hat off their head, but we know that's not going to happen. But very beautiful black women, and they could actually rap pretty. I like their cadence of their raps. But again, when you're rapping about getting abortions and being proud about it because you're getting into an argument with your baby's father, I can't get behind that music. I don't care how good you rap, how good the beat is. We can't get on that. So remember, these are the women that talk about getting abortions, right? They're telling men to just shut the fuck up with all the criticism. Okay, let's move forward. So then this is where JT gives her input on the criticism or questions that the men have about their music. She says,
they want to say it's trash, it's not good, it's just about sex, 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 sex. But just like I can't mainly say I'm gonna go around and shoot up nobody's block, because I'm not gonna go shoot up nobody's block. I'm gonna just talk about how good my pussy is.
And this is where she basically says, yeah, I'm living what I do. I'm living my life. I'm rapping about my life. I'm not going to rap about shooting up the block like some of these rappers do, because I'm not shooting up the block. I'm rapping about my life and my pussy. On a side note, it is a slight running joke in the music industry that a lot of guys say all that women rap about is their pussy all the time. I don't know if you guys listen to hip hop too much, but a lot of the most recent female rappers seem to always rap about their pussy, their pussy, their pussy. Now, hey, it's their own creative choice to talk about what they want to talk about in their raps. But me personally, I sure do wish the days of people like Lauryn Hill were still here. Remember Lauryn Hill? Anyway, let's move forward. But before we move forward, remember, this same woman who's talking about she raps her life, the things she raps about are the things that are in her life. Remember, she rapped about being proud to go get the abortion. I just want to keep mentioning that throughout this video. This is when she goes on to say that when she raps about finessing, quote unquote, and scamming, quote unquote, which are basically colloquialisms for stealing or robbing from men. When she talks about these things, she says, of course the men aren't going to understand it. But she said the men are the target. Yeah, let's play it back.
It's like the streets for us, like the finessing and the scamming and the stripping and the all of that. That's women's stuff. So it's a man probably don't understand it. Mm-hmm. But they the target, so they got to get used to it. Like it's like the streets for us, like the finessing and the scamming and the stripping and the all of that. That's women's stuff. So it's a man probably don't understand it. Mm-hmm. But they the target, so they got to get used to it. Like
you see, that right there, my friend, set off a huge red flag. And again, this is a video pretty much for my fellas, just so that we can stay woke. But this video, on a side note, also is for the righteous women, so that you can further distance yourself from women like this. And if by any rare happenstance JT and Young Miami see this video, yes, God still loves you. I still love you. You still have a place in our community. And I'm just asking for you to set a better example for the kids. But this woman here, she says that men, particularly black men, because these are black women in our community, she says that the men are the targets of her music. And by that, she doesn't mean she targets her music towards men. She doesn't mean that the core demographic of her music and the consumers of her music is men. When she says that men are the targets of what she's talking about, she says men are the targets of her finessing. Men are the targets of her scamming and her lying, like Cardi B. So fellas, stay woke. These women out here are looking at you like a target. This is when Angela Yee, and please don't get me started on Angela Yee. As a matter of fact, let me start on Angela Yee. So Angela Yee, in my opinion, is a practicing witch, but that's a whole other story. On a side note, Angela Yee, who is the only female on The Breakfast Club, which is the most popular urban talk show in America, she's the only so-called black representative in the female demographic on that show, but Angela Yee is half Asian. Now you may ask yourself, what's the problem with being half Asian? Let me tell you what. There's no problem with being half Asian, and there's no problem with being any race. But in particular to being black in America, as it regards to race and being interracial or being mixed, as they call it, many times what you find is people who are black and any other race, when the subject gets kind of hard or racism gets real, those people like to run to the other race. For instance, many of you might remember when Tiger Woods was asked what race he is because he has a Asian mother. He says he's Coblin Asian. He's not just black. Yeah, his father's black, but no, that's not how he's defined. Yes, his skin is dark brown, but that's not how he wants to be defined. Tiger Woods wanted to be defined as Coblinasian, which basically means a bunch of bullshit. But again, a lot of these people who are so-called racially ambiguous, like Angela Yee, they're always missing when it comes time to really speaking up for black people. And in Angela Yee's case in particular, she's actually always playing the devil's advocate against black people. So when you have real black people up there like Dr. Umar Johnson or whoever else it may be, you can go watch the old footage of The Breakfast Club when they were interviewing big people like Louis Farrakhan or Umar Johnson or Dick Gregory. Angela Yee was silent, completely silent, completely quiet, because she has, one, she's completely outmatched as far as intellectuality goes, but two, she's disturbed by the thought of Black American liberation. She sides more with her Asian side, which is why when you look on The Breakfast Club, she has that little lucky cat, which is a Chinese thing. She has no black power thing anywhere. She supports the LGBT community, which we could get into on a different video. She supports abortion. And you could go watch the interview with Angela Stanton King, where Angela Stanton King destroyed the entire Breakfast Club on the premise of how can Black lives matter if we have all these black babies being killed in abortion? And Angela Yee was the first one to say, well, I think black women should be able to kill their children. So Angela Yee's already on my radar. I might end up making a video about her. But in this particular case, Angela Yee jumps in and says, what do you think? Is it just the broke men that have something to say about your music? Maybe it's just the broke men. Do you think that's what it is on social media? The people who have a problem with you bragging about your abortions, that must be just broke men. This is what Angela Yee jumped and chimed in with.
Do you find that on social media, the people that be mad are the broke guys, really? Like, that don't like the lyrics? They might be the ones that really have a problem?
Niggas just got problems, period. If they broke, they rich. It's just an era where niggas just got problems. They need to dig deep in themselves and figure out what the problem with them, because it ain't us, it's them.
That is very true.
They just all got problems. I know some rich niggas with problems. Everybody got problems, and they need to dig in themselves. And when they figure out what's their problem, everything else will run smoothly. Like, it ain't us.
And this is where the whole group starts talking about the idea of broke men, which we could get into. And I'm not dismissing the idea of a man having money, being resourceful, being a provider. But this whole idea of quote unquote real ass bitch give a fuck about a nigga and this rich ass fucking on a rich ass scamming ass nigga. Remember, these are city girl lyrics, right? We have to understand the complexity of what we're dealing with. When Angela Yee says, is it just broke men that are complaining? Because that's the stigma or the taboo. When anytime a black man in particular has a complaint or a grievance, or he brings up a solution to a problem, you say he must be broke and bitter. That's why he's complaining. He needs to go get some money and then he wouldn't be complaining. But I'll tell you guys what, if I had $1 billion, I'd still have an issue with black women going around making songs bragging about abortion. But let's move forward. So then when Angela Yee asked JT, is it just the broke men that have something to say, that just have problems? And then this is where she says, niggas have problems, period.
Niggas just got problems, period. If they broke, they rich. It's just an era where niggas just got problems. They need to dig deep in themselves and figure out what the problem with them, because it ain't us, it's them.
That is very true.
They just all got problems. I know some rich niggas with problems. Everybody got problems, and they need to dig in themselves. And when they figure out what's their problem, everything else will run smoothly. Like, it ain't us.
And then it was very funny to me, actually, that she said, it's not women. It's not women at all. It's just men. Men are the ones who need to look introspectively. Men have to search inwardly and figure everything out. And that's when the world will be a better place, when men figure themselves out, because women are doing everything they're supposed to do, according to the city girls. Okay, now, moving forward, there is a redeeming quality here that I noticed. And she spoke a little truth, this young Miami. She says that she feels bad sometimes for so-called broke men because she sees that a lot of them are actually good people who really try hard and they just get dealt a bad deck of cards a lot of the time.
I be feeling bad for broke men sometimes because they really do be trying though. And it be like nothing be working. Like, you ever know somebody that try everything that don't work? It just be like, damn, man, like I just feel bad for you.
And this is what I wanted to mention, because a lot of women, I'm gonna give a shout out to Young Miami, because a lot of women won't even acknowledge that. They won't acknowledge that there's real men out here who are trying hard, doing everything they can, following the rules, but they just cannot make it out here. Why? Because we know this is a dog eat dog, Shark Tank capitalist society built on a system of white supremacy. So a black man is gonna have a little harder time making a large sum of money. But for some reason, a lot of women can't understand that, or at least admit that. So this young Miami, I'll shout her out. Big ups to you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for seeing that there's real men out here that you guys are laughing at and calling broke boys and making raps against. But really, in reality, they're actually doing everything that they should be doing. It's just their time hasn't come yet, or they've been going through a set of unfortunate circumstances. So while you women up here patting your blonde weave and making jokes about broke boys, actually, that broke boy might save your life one day, but that's a different story. Moving forward, JT talks about when she tried to do things legally and she did have an actual 9-to-5 job. It was way back in 2015, and she only worked there for a short amount of time before she quit because she didn't get a raise. Then she said she went, quote unquote, back to the streets.
I think my last job was like 2015, to be honest, 2016, 2015.
Where you worked at?
Whole Foods.
Oh.
Oh, that's good.
It wasn't no scam. Honestly, truly, I promise you it wasn't no scam at Whole Foods. That probably was the first time in a long time that I was not doing nothing wrong. And I just was trying to have a job. And when they didn't give me my raise, I quit. And then I went back to
what?
The streets.
Okay.
And this is one of the things I want to focus on before we end out here, is the whole backdrop of their story is that they come from the streets scamming, stealing. Matter of fact, let's move forward. Let me show you something.
Young Miami, when the last time you had a job?
I never really had a job for real, but I don't even know. Like if I did have like this little one job, I probably was there for like a month at a wax center.
At a what?
Wax center, like making appointments.
Oh, okay, got you.
Before I started rapping, I used to be like stealing this stuff, and that's what my mama used to do. And I felt like I was going down a path like my mama. If I would never started rapping, I would have been like my mama, which is, you know, like that's what she had to do to feed us. And it's like, I don't want that for my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like my mama gave us the best life, but she always had to be in and out of prison. Like I don't want that for my kids.
So now we really have to look at this here. You have a set of women, one of who hasn't worked a job since 2015, and she says she spent the majority of her life in the streets doing illegal activities. The other one says she's never had a job, save for maybe a 1 month period of time. Both of them grew up stealing, quote unquote, scamming and finessing. One of them, their mother was in prison for theft, or she says at least she grew up seeing her mother steal, and she had a pretty decent life based off the fact that everything she got, her mother used to steal. So you grew up from dysfunction and thieves. You're used to a lifestyle that you didn't work for, that you stole, but yet you have the audacity to look at a man who may have the dignity and the respect and the morale not to steal, and he wants to get every penny he gets from his hard work and the sweat over his brow. You look at that man and call him a broke boy and make songs about him. This is what I wanted to talk about. You have absolutely no respect for men. You have no respect for yourself, so I wouldn't expect you to have respect for men. What it is you're selfish and you need to change, and this is a message to the city girls. Two last things that I found funny, and I'm gonna let you go. Let's look at this.
Every time Southside fly me out for my birthday, it be $100K.
God
I get a jet. My house gotta be crazy. I want to be on the beach, on the water. You gotta bring all my friends when I get down on the yacht. Then my outfits, I want motherfucking Birkin bags. I want all type of stuff. So it's like, yeah. Like,
What did you do for his birthday, Young Miami?
But I did. My birthday his birthday the 2nd, mine's the 11th. So we always celebrate our birthday together.
Okay. So what did you get for him?
What I got him for his birthday? Some head.
What did you get for him?
What I got him for his birthday? Some head.
So you see, she says for her birthday, she wants Birkin bags, a private jet. She wants to go to the beach with all of her friends invited. She wants the latest outfit, the newest blonde wig on her head. You got to spend $100,000 on her birthday. But then when they ask, well, what did you do for your boyfriend's birthday? Well, you know, his birthday is close to mine, so he just got to partake in my celebration. So your boyfriend has to spend $100,000 on you, but because his birthday is close to yours, you somehow get to reverse Uno that to him. You hit him with the reverse Uno card. And then she says, well, what did you get him? Oh, I got him some head. So your man, you expect him to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on you, but all you got to do is suck his penis. And a lot of women really believe this. I just found that funny. And the last thing I got to say, this JT girl, both of them are funny. Both of them are funny. And if you haven't seen the Young Miami talking about flued out, look at this.
Hey y'all, what's up? So the City Girls Part 25K challenge is real. I will be picking the top 20 winners. The top 20 winners will get flued out. All expenses is paid for. The top 20 winners will get flued out. All expenses is paid for. The top 20 winners will get flued out. All expenses is paid for. Flights, travel, everything. We're going to do it real big. We're going to shoot a video. The challenge is 2 weeks long. It will end on the 23rd. I need y'all to get creative. I need y'all to shake y'all ass. Make sure you hashtag City Girls Challenge 25K. And girl code, it's a movie, period. Free JT.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're literally funny, okay? I'll give it to them. But the last thing This JT girl, throughout the entire interview, she kept talking about the pandemic. The pandemic.
And it's like kind of hard because when I got out, the pandemic came. And it's like kind of hard because when I got out, the pandemic came.
And then the first time I heard it, I said, what did she just say? I know she didn't just mispronounce pandemic.
Because when I got out, the pandemic came. I can't get us back because I really want to perform and I want everybody just to be mentally healthy again because this pandemic is a fucking, like, my first stages of the pandemic, I had a real mental breakdown. Guys, you know, it's a real different, it's a pandemic, first of all, and it's a different era. People ain't really approaching people no more. They DM me.
And yes, sure enough, she said it about 5 or 6 times throughout the interview, the pandemic. So, you know, what can I say, man? I remember when Cardi B started getting famous, I sat back and I said, wow, this is where society is going, huh? And now I see a lot of women who actually make Cardi B look like Mother Teresa, which really begs the question, where are we going as a society where these are the new people that are role models? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that women of yesteryear were oh so holy and they didn't have rappers like Trina and Lil Kim and the like. I understand this isn't a new phenomenon, but yeah, you do kind of cross the threshold when you rap and brag about getting an abortion. But you know, that's just me. I wanted to make this video to see maybe anybody agrees with me. Or maybe I'm just a crazy, delusional, bitter, broke boy. Either way it goes, we'll find out in the end. In the meantime, I need you to please vibrate higher.
So Flued Out came about one day. I was doing a drop for one of my shows, and I was tired. I just had finished a show, and I was in the car doing the drop, and I was trying to say Flown Out, but it came out as Flued. I was like, I'm not fixing it. Like, I'm tired. I done said this like 10 times. It's coming out wrong. Put it out. They know what I meant. So now that it's actually a phrase, when a guy sit for you, like, he fly you out, take you shopping, make no pieces hit, and send you back home.
Hey y'all, the City Girls Perk 22 challenge is still on, and I'm gonna pick the top 20 twinners, and then the top 20 winners we get flued out. Then I'm gonna flew y'all back, and then we're gonna catch the flu in Houston because it's so cold. Then I need y'all to get creative because I want y'all to shake y'all ass because City Girls, hashtag City Grills and Drills Code, and if that ass right, you might get a flight. Flew out.
You a pop. Oh, Lord, I can't get no help in here.